In this video, we will be going over the key metrics in media buying when it comes to lead gen or lead generation. This video will be much briefer than the previous simply because 90% of the metrics are exactly the same as the ecom version of this video, so make sure you watch both. However, we're going to walk through each of these metrics in the order that we set them up in our ad accounts. So the first metric that we set up to make sure that we always have visible in our dashboard, in whether you're running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, it really doesn't matter. These are the metrics in order that we typically set them up from left to right. So first, we always set up a column to see our budgets. We want to see how much we're spending per day. As we scroll down, the next column over we set up is amount spent, how much it's spent in any given time. So you can set it to today's date, to yesterday's, to the last 7 days, the last 30 days. You always want to be able to see how much you've spent. As we scroll down, the next column over is CPMs, cost per 1,000 impressions. You want to know, and please read through every one of these in detail on your own, at your own speed. I'm just giving a brief overview of these instead of reading the entire explanation to you. But make sure you go through this multiple times, read through each of the explanations here and take notes on them as well. But if you watch the ecom version of this video, this is essentially identically the same until the very end. So CPMs is the next column over. It's cost per 1,000 impressions. That is how much the platform, the advertising platform, whether Facebook or Google, is charging you per 1,000 eyeballs that your ad gets in front of. Remember, low CPMs means that the platform likes your ad and that it thinks that it's giving the user, whoever's seeing the ad, a good experience. High CPMs means that it thinks that your ad is either manipulating the viewer or that it's not the right fit. You're not targeting the right viewer, or that your product or service could be potentially fraudulent or jeopardizing the safety of the viewer. So there's a lot of scenarios there, but you want to keep a close eye on that. One thing to keep an eye out as well when monitoring data is if most of your ads are on average in a general CPM range, like $20 to $30, and then you launch a new ad and then it's at $100 CPMs, you want to really analyze what is the difference between the ads I've been running and the new ad that I launched, because there's something about that new ad that Facebook or Google really does not like and does not think is a good fit for my customer or for the viewer that we're targeting. As we scroll down, impressions are just simply how many people have seen the ad. Frequency, how many times they've seen the ad. And if you put it on a certain time frame, like a 7-day window, it'll show you on average. If it says a 2.5 is for the frequency, it means that everyone in that audience that you're targeting has seen your ads an average of about 2.5 times in that 7-day window. Unique outbound click-through rate. It's the percentage of people that are seeing your ad and clicking the call to action button, whether it's learn more or get a quote or shop now, whatever that call to action button is that's taking them to your website. That is an outbound click. So unique outbound click-through rate is simply the percentage of people out of the people that see the ad that click on it. Unique outbound clicks, how many people, same exact thing. It's just how many of these people clicked on the ad to go to the website. Cost per unique outbound click. Self-explanatory. So basically you take your ad spend. If you spent $100 and you had 100 outbound clicks, that means that the cost per outbound click would be $1 per click. Landing page views would be the next metric over that we would add into our columns. Just seeing how many people clicked on the ad and then how many people actually waited for the landing page to view or landing page to load. If you see that 100 people clicked on your ad and then only 50 people waited for the landing page to load, because if they get to the website and leave immediately before it actually loads, it won't actually trigger the landing page view. It either means that the landing page is loading too slowly or too slow, or that there's not enough intent. They're clicking the ad and they're getting bored almost immediately, or they don't know what they're clicking on. So something to look out for. We line these up specifically in this order so we could start to see where the drop off is. Is it from when they click to when they land on the landing page? Or is it from when they land on the landing page? Is the drop off that they're not becoming a lead? So we'll continue to go through it. The next metric down is cost per landing page view, self-explanatory. And then how much each of those landing page views are costing you. Leads. So how many leads you are getting once people get to your website. How many people are opting in? If you have an opt-in form saying, give us your name, email, phone number to get more information, how many of those people are actually taking that action? That's what your leads are. So leads will show you how many leads you've received. Cost per lead shows you how much those leads are costing you. So it's taking your total spend and dividing it by the amount of leads you're getting. So if you spend $100 and you got 5 leads, those leads are costing you $20 per lead. So the next step typically in a funnel would be applications submitted. So the amount of applications, every funnel is slightly different, but most funnels will have a lead form, and then you'll have them fill out an application, and then you'll have them book a call. Sometime we do change the order of this a lot of the time. A lot of times we'll go direct to application and then go to a call, or we'll go straight to the calendar sometimes as well, depending on what the offer is. But you need to know what each of these metrics are, just because whether they're your clients or somebody else's clients, or this is for your own offer, these are all metrics that you're going to use at one point or another. So the next metric down in the funnel goes from leads to applications submitted, and then cost per application submitted. And that's usually 5 to 10 questions, depending on how complicated you want to make that submission or that application. And then booked appointments. Facebook calls this schedules. So when you look up, or schedule, so when you look up schedule on there, that means booked appointments. And that's how many people total booked an appointment with you, and then cost per booked appointment. So yeah, again, you take your total spend and you divide it by how many booked calls you have, and that equals your cost per booked appointment. If you spend $100, 2 people book a call, your cost per booked appointment is $50 per booked appointment. So make sure you read all the way through this. This gives much more context on the importance of each of these metrics. So really take your time going through this multiple times. I'll quickly show you an ad account as well with these metrics so you can see what it looks like in Facebook specifically. Okay, so now we're in Facebook. So looking from left to right, you see we have our campaign column. This just shows us the name of the campaign. Delivery just shows whether it is on or off or scheduled, or if there is an error in the campaign, it'll show here as well. Our budget, then we have our amount spent. This is all in the same exact order as the video that we just went through. CPMs, cost per 1,000 impressions. You can always stretch these out too if you're not seeing the entire phrase. Impressions, how many people saw the ad. Frequency, how many times people saw this ad. So you can see these people in total were seeing the ad. I have it on maximum right now. So the entire time this ad ran, which was about a month, the people in this audience saw the ads an average of about 2 times. Unique outbound click-through rate. This is actually really low. Typically you want this closer to a 2% if possible, but every offer and every market is different. Unique outbound clicks, cost per unique outbound click, how many landing page views, your cost per landing page view, your leads. So this is all happening in the order of the action that the person is taking. You can see they're seeing the ad, so impressions, they're clicking the ad, they're landing on the landing page, they're either submitting their information or not, aka becoming a lead. So your leads, cost per lead. We didn't have an application on this funnel, so that's why you don't see any applications submitted or cost per application. And then appointments scheduled, and then cost per appointment scheduled. So you can see our leads were costing us around $12 in this specific funnel, and our appointments were costing us around $150 in this funnel. So it gives you kind of a general overview. In this specific funnel, we have this just titled lead generation. If you hit this pencil icon here, you can create a new column, or you can hit customize columns. And then you'll see at the bottom, you can save this to whatever name that you want. But all of those columns that we just went over are in order, and you could search them up in this area to find them, and then you just drag them over to the right. And so these are the exact same columns that we went over in the first part of this video, and then that you just saw in these columns. And you can set it up exactly like this of what you're seeing. Feel free to pause this video as well. And now we're going to quickly jump over to Google and show you what this looks like there. So jumping into Google, we typically have a much simpler setup when it comes to the columns that we're looking at and monitoring compared to Facebook, specifically for lead gen. So looking from left to right, we have our campaign name, then we have our budget, how much we want to spend each day. We have our bid strategy type. We'll get more into this further into the course. The status of the campaign, this campaign is paused. We have our optimization score. This lets you know if there's anything really wrong with the campaign. Our conversion goals. I set up my own, so it says DC booked appointment here. As we scroll to the right, we'll get into all of this. We go through all this information further into it. So don't worry too much about it. Just go ahead and set up these columns now in this little column section. You can do modify columns and then name it lead gen or whatever you would like to name it. We typically will name it either lead gen or e-commerce. So then we have our cost, how much these ads have cost us, how much we've spent, impressions, how many people have seen these ads, our click-through rate, how many people have clicked through, or the percentage of people that have clicked on our ads. These are the total clicks, 5,500 clicks. Our average CPC means cost per click is 90 cents. That's how much it's costing us for every click that we're getting on the ad. Conversions is always going to, when you choose conversions here, it's always going to be based on whatever your conversion goal is. So if you have your conversion goal set to booked appointments, then these conversions are going to stand for appointments. If you have your conversion goal set to leads, then these conversions are going to be leads. If you have this set to applications, then this is going to be the total applications that were filled out. So in this campaign, we were optimizing for booked appointments. So there were 62 booked appointments, and this is the cost per conversion, so cost per booked appointment at $4.64 each. And if we expand this, you can always hit this little segments button and then go to hover over conversions and then conversion action, and it'll drop down and show you the exact conversion that was within this. So booked calls. But yeah, in short, all you need to do is come in here, go into custom columns, modify columns, and then this is looking a little funkier here, but match what what I'm showing right here. Campaign, budget, bid strategy type, status, optimization score, conversion goals, cost, impressions, click-through rate, clicks, average CPC, conversions, and cost per conversion. And that's all you need for now when it comes to lead gen. That is it for this video for key metrics for lead gen, and I will see you in the next video.